Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashem Shad, double lines to the Apostle GMS. This is Anna Allah coming at you with a video. In this video, I'm basically going into how the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. See if I can find that scripture. Just had it here, bear me 1 second. Alright, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 41. It says, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation." What does the word temptation mean? Let's see.
Strong's G 3986, Pyrasmas.
Pyrasmas. Okay. An experiment, attempt, trial, proven. Here you go. Enticement to sin. Temptation, whether arising from the desires or from the outward circumstances. So whether it's your desires that something you really want to do, or whether it's outward circumstances around you. So those are examples of temptations. See? Of the condition of things or mental state by which we are enticed to sin, or to a lapse from the faith and holiness. It's a other good definition there, but that's basically the point. Enticement to sin. So let's go back. So it says, watch and pray. So you gotta watch. Watch. What's the word watch mean? See if you can get some further significance on that. Okay, let's see. Watch.
Strong's G 1127, Gregoreo.
Gregoreo. Sounds like Gregorian. To watch, metaphorically give strict attention to, be cautious, active, to take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity suddenly overtake thee. So the word watch, it just basically meaning to be vigilant, to be aware, to give strict attention to. But it says watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. So you not only gotta watch. What are we watching for? We gotta watch the current events, things that's going on in the world, so that we could be able to link it with the scriptures, so that we can see that these are how close we are to the signs that the Lord's coming. If it coincides with written in the scriptures, then we know that we're close. And pray. You got to pray to the Most High in the name of His Son. You know, to build up your faith, to give you all those things that you need spiritually, so that you will be delivered. That ye enter not into temptation. So you got to watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So the spirit within you want to do that which is right, but the flesh that you in wants to do that which is against the spirit. So it's a constant battle. It's a constant war within your own self. And you got to learn how to fight that, you know. And that comes with experience, you know. But that comes with time. That comes with experience. And that also comes with, understanding that, the things that you do to please the flesh is temporary. You know, it's only but for a moment. I'm saying, once you got enough of that, you realize, well, I don't even got to do that. You know, that's only pleasing for the moment. You know what I mean? It's like a dude that's going around. It's like a guy that gets money. He spends all his money on clothes. Now, if you want to buy clothes, there's no problem with that. But let's say you got a dude that got money and you want to buy money on clothes all the time. But he's not even taking into account that the particular type of clothes that he buys, within the next, 6 months, that's not even gonna be in style no more. So you just spent $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on a bunch of clothes. Now 6 months later, or 8 months later, when you wear it, people gonna look at you like, "Why are you wearing that for?" But with maturity, when you get older, you realize you don't really gotta buy everything. And if you choose to buy anything, you can buy what you wanna wear. You don't necessarily gotta keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, because trends eventually go out of style at some point. So you gotta take into account whatever those particular things are. I'm just using that as an example. But whatever those things are that you're tempted to do, you gotta understand that it's only gonna be pleasing but for a moment. Only but for a moment. And if you're a wise man and you know that what you're doing is not the wise decision, you're gonna be pricked in your heart. In other words, you're gonna be convicted in your own mind. Like, that wasn't right that I was doing. That wasn't the wisest thing to do. But you just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. Not taking heed that eventually at some point it's going to catch up to you. You got to understand that. These are this is a part of being spiritual. Okay? So the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay? This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 13. I'm going to go right to the point. I was started a little bit up, but I'm going to go right to the point. Romans 13, verse 13. Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying. Now he said, not in rioting and drunkenness. What does that mean? What that word rioting?
Strong's G 2970. Komos.
Komas. It says a revel, carousal, a nocturnal and riotous procession of half-drunken and frolicsome fellows who after supper parade through the streets with torches and music in honor of Bacchus or some other deity, and sing and play before houses of male and female friends, hence used generally of feast and drinking parties that are protracted till late at night and indulge in revelry. So that word there says, through the streets with torches and music in honor of Bacchus or some other deity. Now who's Bacchus? Bacchus was the Roman god of agriculture, wine, and fertility, equivalent to the Greek god Dionysus, or Dionysus. He is often seen with vines of grapes with him. So he's a god of agriculture, wine, and fertility. You think of fertility, that's sex. So this is what Bacchus was the god of. And there was a holiday in ancient Rome dedicated to Bacchus called Bacchanalia. And they would walk through the streets drunk. And it says a riotous procession. What is a procession? A line of people who are all walking or traveling in the same direction, especially in a formal way as part of a religious ceremony or public celebration. Let's see something real quick. Look at the word procession. Here's an example. You see how all the people are walking forward in one direction? See that? See, festival. Here's another example of it. See? Let me see. All of those people on a boat, well, they're not necessarily walking, but I want to give a better example of it. Let me go back. See right here, this is like a parade. This is a procession. So he said, let us not do that. So you don't want to even be in them kind of environments. That's your Labor Day parade. That's your Dominican Day parade. That's your Puerto Rican Day parade. That's your 4th of July. Whatever kind of so-called days, so-called holidays. Okay, let me see. Now I went to Google and type in Bacchanalia procession. Bacchanalia originated from the rural Greek Dionysia, which celebrated the grape harvest with a procession of women carrying jars of wine, baskets of bread, and foli symbolizing fertility. This is an example right there. You know? So you don't even want to be out there in these so-called holidays and these days of the world. You don't even want to be out there. But the reason why I started off with the spirit is willing, flesh is weak, because the flesh that's in you going to make you want to be out there. You know? But the spirit that's in you wants to do what's right. Now, there's other scriptures I can go into about the war being in your members. I'm going to go into that, but I'm going to go into that on another lesson because I'm really thinking about another topic, not enough speaking. I got to do a lesson on that, you know? Yeah, but these are examples of it. These processions to Bacchus. Let's go back. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering, which that's adultery, in wantonness, being undisciplined, not in strife and envying. But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai, the anointed, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Let's go to the word provision.
Strong's G 4307. Pranoia.
Paranoia. Forethought, prevent you care, to make provision for a thing. To think. So it says, but put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai, the anointed, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. And when you look at that word provision, what did it say again? Forethought. So make not forethought to make provision for the flesh. Provision, another word for provision is like food. A provision is a store or supply of something like food or clothing. So make not provision for the flesh, or make not forethought for the flesh. Because when you're making forethought to engage in an act that you shouldn't, you are then making provision or forethought or food for the flesh to devour, to eat. You're feeding that nature of the flesh, so to speak. Make not provision for the flesh. That word provision. Did I click on the Greek? Yeah, I did. So that word provision means forethought. Make not forethought for the flesh. Forethought is thinking something beforehand. In other words, you don't want to be thinking that how you gonna please your flesh, because you're feeding the flesh by when you engage in that action. That's why I said to fulfill the lust thereof. So when you make provision for the flesh, you're fulfilling those lusts. You know. The last two right here.
Strong's G 2845. Koite.
Like I said, chambering meaning adultery, coite, wantonness.
Strong's G 766. Elgaya.
That's algae. Unbridled lust. Something that's, if you unbridled, you lack discipline. So it's a little more I can go into, but that's the point. So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm saying, praise Yahweh, Shem Yahshua, double line, C, positive GMS. Always better learn something. Shalom.